everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to Callie's in the Kitchen. I have here the holographic geode mold from Molds and Shapes, and I am going to pour a technique that the very talented and sweet friend of mine, Nicole Martin, and I will link her Instagram account. I am using Radiant Flow. I have very little left, so I'm hoping I get somewhat of a success here. Otherwise, I'm going to be so bummed. And I have mixed up some resin with the Resin Art White that my dear friend Anastasia from Russia sent to me. And then I got a little gift, too, from somebody else. So I'm going to try this with Radiant first, and then Sweet Nicole did another pour similarly that I'm actually going to try with Art Pro, because I'm running out of Radiant, and I know I can get Art Pro from Resin Pro. So the first thing is a thin line of the Resin Art White on the edge. Yeah, I don't have enough. This is, I don't think I've used the right, well, maybe not. It doesn't have to fill. I always keep forgetting. It doesn't have to fill the mold. The little background sound that you might be hearing, I've got my Resiners Air Purifier, which I am so grateful for, because I've got it on a manual setting right now. And it's showing red, so meaning obviously there's some VOC going on in here. So now the next one is Resin Ink Elderberry from Etta Art, and I'm pouring it on top of the white, as best I can. And I've always wanted to get elderberry because Petra uses it a lot. And I know she uses Campari, and I just wish Etta Art would ship to the US, but I have a source. Okay, so just, oops. I should be holding my arm on the other side. I'm hoping to do this and the other pour as one video, just as a comparison, so we shall see. And I don't know if I'm doing it too much or too little. I do want to use all of it. I'm probably doing too much because I think I needed a wider mold, but we'll see. Okay, so I used only some of my white. Oops, I'm just getting these out of here. Then the rest of my white I'm going to pour on top into spirals again. So it'll be really interesting to see, same ingredients except for the resin ink, to see what Europe versus USA does as far as these products are concerned. Okay, now I've got some blue crushed glass that I'm actually going to put in the center, and I don't know if blue and purple go together, but I think they're going to be far apart enough that'll be okay. So cool. When I first started using, I'm talking about my air purifier. It's changing from red to green, red to green. So, okay, and that's it. So I might put you on a time lapse in a little bit to see what happens. Otherwise, I'll see you for the next different pour, or maybe a reveal. I'm not sure yet. So here is the air purifier from Resiners that I received, and it works beautifully. Fits on my counter, and I'm going to link a video created by Naptime Creations, who has a perfect description of how to use it. And see my little husband's little fingers holding my background cover. Anyway, it's a great machine to have while working with resin. So I thought I'd show you the second pour. This is a about 9-inch geode tray mold that I got from Temu. And it's a similar technique, but using different products. So here I've got Art Pro that I've mixed up. But first I'm going to put in a center mix of some gold and some crystals to place in the center. So I'm kind of fussing around, trying to find the center and trying to, what I do is I put the glitter mix in a cup and then pour some resin to kind of make a paste so that hopefully it doesn't spread too much or move too much around. So I'm kind of playing around, getting a nice shape, trying not to make it too symmetrical, but sometimes it just can't be helped. Excuse me. Then, let's see, that looks about centered. Then I'm going to use some orange pigment paste that I got from Temu. That's the first one. And then I'm going to use some mica powder that I got from Temu. So orange and green. And then I'm going to use Resin Art White for my white. So I couldn't help myself, so I kept fussing and fussing with the center mix. I think it's also because I'm letting my Art Pro sit for a little bit and then just kind of playing with the center as I usually miss the center. So just fast forward if you'd like. So I'm going to do a voiceover because my air purifier machine is going on auto and it's making a loud, not too loud, hissing sound. So in my first cup of resin, I'm mixing some Resin Art White, stirring it up, making sure it's nice and mixed in. And then in my second cup, oh, I guess I didn't show. Well, I did, maybe, a little bit of the paste. And paste is really hard to sort of just to describe how much to use because you can't weigh it. I mean, I suppose you could after you've placed it in, you can weigh it. But I just sort of guesstimate how much I need. And I'm mixing it with my Art Pro, mixing it really well. It's kind of a interesting color, almost brownish versus orange. And then in my third cup, so first is the Resin Art White, then it's the paste, and then now in another cup, I will be placing some mica powder, and on that one, I'm going to stir really well because mica powder, you want to make sure you don't have any of the little powdery stuff sticking up. So you'll see in the next bit here that I stir my green mica powder really, really, really well. All right, so I have turned down my air purifier and it's showing red still, obviously, because there's all this resin here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is put my paste along the edge, and I'm hoping I have enough. And I thought I'd just show you what I guesstimated for the paste and mica powder. So those two items are a little bit difficult to sort of measure because, you know, you scoop it up, oops, or you take the stick and you know, take the paste out, or unless you've got the drops of the paste, then you could count drops. So I'm just guessing here. And I believe, I'm sure, oh dear, colors also matter. But I did get some help from Nicole. As always, she's so generous. Ooh, okay, I think I can keep going. So we just use it all up. I did a thin, you know, really narrow one at first just to make sure that I had enough to go all the way around. And then when I know that I do, I go back to the edge. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. I might take a breath here and see where it might be a little narrower. Can't quite tell, so I'm just going to continue. I want to use up all this Art Pro. All right, then the next pour is the mica powder. This green doesn't look very pretty, but hopefully it is. I still haven't found the right green. All right, so now I'm going to pour this in the inside of that orange. You know, I could have mixed it up in the sense of did a green paste and then orange mica powder. So, you know, that's also possible. But I thought I'd do it this way for some, I don't know, some reason. I want to laugh or chuckle, but I'm afraid I'm going to spill my cup or, oops, make the stream not correct. Okay, as always, I want to make sure I have enough to go all the way around. Yay. Now I'm going to come back in. I'm going back over here. This one seems a little oops, no, shuckaroos. I think that's okay. So finish this off. Whoopsie boopsie. Oh, whoopsie boopsie. I wanted to make it nice and even. Okay, let me just go put, wow, quite a bit. Okay. This Art Pro feels different than the Transparente. No, sorry, the Radiant. Okay, that's it. Then gently, I'm going to do the clear, the rest of it. And I hope my center acts and behaves. I kind of don't want to do it in the center there, so maybe I'll just do it like this. Push it out. Hopefully I have enough. Now I'm going to go in. Whoops, no, I'm not well, maybe I do because I have to coat it. So let me do that. Okay, I'm not gonna torch, even though there's all those bubbles. Okay. Now, in fact, I think I'll just wait for a second and let that sort of settle or spread a little. And while it does that, I'm going to clean my sticks. I do try to reuse my wooden sticks. So let me just wait a moment. Oops, this dripped. So after I finish doing this, I'm going to turn my purifier back up to auto. And maybe I'll remember to time how long it takes to turn green. Just a few more seconds or minutes before I put in the last color, which is the white. Okay, here we go. So this is the Resin Art White. And I'm just going to do it in spirals. Now if I do combine this with the other video, which was another web effect, the web effect sure looks like the lace effect, quote unquote, that we've been doing in the beginning, or a few weeks ago, or a few months ago. At least mine turned out more like that. There were more blobbies than my friend Nicole's. Hers was a really smooth, perfect web. I will take either. So I'm just going to continue spiraling and finishing this whole white. There must be some sort of ingredient reaction of doing, you know, thin spirals, thick spirals. I don't know. So I'm sort of, because it all ends up being, you know, one thick one, but I'm just doing, you know, thin spirals first. Maybe to give time for the resin to move? Don't know. Oops, oh, I don't know what happened there. Okay, that's it. And now I put you on a time lapse, but I don't know how long or short it's going to take. So I'm just going to leave it and then come back to you for the unmolding. Once again, in the middle of the night, I placed my piece in a bowl to shape it. I kind of like this look. Looks like the Art Pro didn't close in. So, and then what I did is after I took it out of the bowl, the plastic bowl, I did some gold on the rim. So here we go. Here is another web effect. Kind of, I don't know, let me see if I can bring you in. Yep, so that you can see maybe some of the webbing. So different, and I actually kind of like that bright there, that little, anyway, I don't know what you call it. So hopefully you'll try these two techniques or not, and I'll catch you next time. Okay, so it was in the middle of the night that I took my piece out of its mold and placed it in this little bowl, plastic bowl, and wait till you see the results. So this is the back, and check that out. Oh Oh my goodness. I am just in awe of my friend Nicole. She is so brilliant. So I just thought I'd put a black background. And for me, I love anything holographic. So anyway, there you go. And if I don't do another pour that I'm adding to this video, thanks for watching. Otherwise, stay tuned.